Tell me about Indonesia.
It was the first country I ever went to.
Oh, okay,
well,
perfect.
Kind of. First one I went to by
Wait,
myself.
because Bali is it? Yeah.
No, like we lived in, my family lived in Germany when I was like 2 years old.
Okay.
But I don't remember that.
Do you
But-
speak any German?
No.
Me neither.
I did. I forgot it all.
Dude, my Vietnamese cousin in Vietnam
Yeah.
speaks Vietnamese, obviously.
Yeah.
Learnt English because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And then went off and learnt German as well. What the hell, man?
Of course. Why?
Spread the talent, brother.
But yeah, no, like my my grandma actually grew up there.
I wouldn't pull those sleeves up if I were you.
It's alright. I got a spray.
Oh,
We'll
bro,
see.
I'm Vietnamese, man. Don't worry about that. We don't need no spray.
But they're going for my face.
Are they
so-
going for your face?
A little
Did you
bit.
spray your face?
I did.
Fuck, they're going for
Yeah.
my toes. I'm all about this though. No, I'm living this. I love this.
So
This is
good.
like Kevin Hart's thing where they sit in the ice box and they try to do an interview,
Oh,
or they
really?
eat the hot ones.
Yeah.
There you go. See,
Oh,
I
good
was
shot.
getting them going. But yeah, doing an
Yeah.
interview while trying to fight off mosquitoes.
But yeah,
Indonesia, yeah, your first place.
my grandma
traveling.
grew up there.
Your
It's
grandma
like-
grew up in Indonesia.
Yeah, because I've got like my mother's side of the family is Dutch.
Mhm.
Dutch occupied Indonesia for a while.
Okay.
Grandma grew up there and then got kicked out.
To Australia?
To Sri Lanka, to like a refugee camp, then back to Holland, and then to Australia.
See, these are those little pockets of history you don't
Yeah.
know. Like,
I
because
know.
at the end of the day, when you talk history, everyone's concerned with the flag. They're less
Yeah.
concerned with the people.
Yeah.
So it's like that little pocket there. Oh, the Dutch like occupied Indonesia. The times changed. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then your grandma, was it?
yeah.
Refugee camp. Dude,
Yeah.
we don't talk about the white people refugee camps that they had to put up with. We just talk about
Yeah.
Asian people refugee camps.
That happened. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because nowadays when the word camping and white people come together, it's like all fun, outback and stuff.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Okay, and so I love that. I'm with that
Yeah.
because was that the inspiration? The whole grandma grew up here. I want to
Hmm.
go back and check that out.
Yeah, and my mum was also an Indonesian teacher.
An
and went there many
Indonesian
times.
teacher?
Yeah.
Like she taught in English
Yeah,
Actually
like,
taught,
in Australia, she taught. Yeah,
at an Indonesian school.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah. So when actually it's kind of related to snowboarding, me and some of my mates were going to go to Whistler for a season.
Indonesian mates?
Just Aussie mates.
Indonesians don't know snow. Wait, do they?
Nah,
Indonesia
no
have snow?
there. Nah.
Sorry, I mixed Indonesia up with like the Himalayas. I'm
yeah.
real bad at this geography. This is why I got to travel, so I
Yeah.
know where everything
Yeah.
is.
Nah, definitely no snow there.
Hmm.
But yeah, we planned this trip to Canada to do a season,
Mhm.
and didn't happen. And I was like, oh, well, I've got to travel somewhere. So I went
Yes.
to Indonesia and just backpacked there for a month. And it was cool. Like, that was at the time where phones weren't really a thing.
Mhm.
Like, I think I had a phone.
Wait, 2000 and
Fuck, it would have been a long time ago. I think it would have been,
relax, huh? You're not that much older than me. You're like,
yeah.
when'd you turn?
6 or 7 years ago.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
It was like when phones, yeah, that you would have like they weren't as they're not like today. Not
Yeah.
like today.
I like,
so fast as well.
I know,
like,
it's
with the phone
crazy.
thing. I'm so
like I
bored.
remember having to use the computer to
Mhm.
buy plane tickets.
Hmm.
And there was no way to pay for them online. So you'd have to reserve it and then run to the convenience store within 2 hours.
Brother,
to
this was
pay
just
for your
5-6
ticket.
years ago. This sounds like it
I-
was 20.
Yeah, it was insane. But it was really cool
Mm.
because since I didn't have a phone, like I was going off a Lonely Planet itinerary.
Yep.
And so you'd see
You have to
heaps
use
of other
paper?
people. Yeah,
Like,
you
you have
use
to-
paper. And there'd be other people doing the same thing, and it was kind of cool because I feel like you made a lot more friends and had more genuine experiences, and like you also were scared and took risks and like had rewards as well. Yeah, you couldn't really guarantee anything.
See, when I first did my big travel thing that had meaning to me was Vietnam because I was born there.
Yeah,
So I wanted to go back and see that world that I could have grown up in. So you went back to see the world that your grandma grew up in. For me, I'm lucky. I speak Vietnamese, so I'm
Yeah.
navigating it like, thank God, right? But and also I think I started like my first travel 2016, and I'm pretty sure like, when I feel like when I talk about I travel with all this, people don't realize a little bit of how easy it is. The Google
So
Maps, man.
easy.
I just
yeah.
even when you're in rural and stuff, if the maps have been saved, the satellite's going, just kind of get through. You kind of don't get lost.
Yeah.
Like you literally have. You remember back in the day we used to play Pokemon? You ever play Pokemon?
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Remember the map? How you'd move on the map and you know where you are
Yeah.
actually? It was pretty much that.
Yeah, that's true.
The Google Maps is like, I don't think my travel could have happened as fluid without it. Whereas you're telling me you're running around the lonely, because I was able to do, because I spoke Vietnamese and because I had that interest, I could kind of make my own itinerary as opposed to like having to stick to these more conventional itineraries.
Yeah.
But that being said, when I do decide to go to Indonesia, when I do decide to go to these countries that I can't speak the language, I'm imagining like the way you kind of had to go through it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like,
Yeah, it was good.
It's and also something I thought about is expats. It's an interesting concept to me to go back to my home country and meet Australian dudes who probably know the streets better than I do.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if they do though.
Oh no, probably not. They probably just go to what they usually like, the bar and all that. But the point is, it's just like, I'm thinking, I'm here. I'm gonna go back home in 3 weeks, and you're gonna stay here for another year. Are you kidding me? This is my house.
Yeah.
So with Indonesia, that itinerary and stuff, most of the things that you did when you're there was to experience the life, or was it to like?
I don't really know, man. Like, I didn't know why I was there. I just felt like I felt like I was quite lost at the time in my life.
Just life?
Just life, yeah. Because I was 21 or 22 and I, in some ways, I'd done nothing with my life, and I like got to this moment where I was like, shit, like I've got nothing to be proud of, you know, no
Ouch.
memories.
So
you know,
hard on himself, man. Are your parents Asian? What the hell?
And yeah, I just felt like I had to do something. And yeah, everybody says that, you know, they find themselves or whatever when they're traveling. And yeah, to an extent I did, because when I went over there, I didn't know what I was looking for. Oh, there's actually a great Indonesian word for that.
What's it called?
I don't know it.
But
it's not Indonesian. It's Javanese, like a dialect, or Sundanese. I don't know. But yeah, it's like looking for something, but you don't know what you're looking for, and that's exactly what it was. And when I got over there by myself, I realized that
You started on your own, right?
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Solo
I realized
travel.
that the person who I was in Australia was not actually Kieran. Like, it was just it was like a personality built up of expectations of other people, and
Feels like you're acting.
Yeah.
It feels like you're just fulfilling the role that you need to fulfill with part of that life up until the point you were 20 something, and it was only until you broke out of that and saw how different the world is.
Yeah.
Even though it's that like not that far away from us technically.
Yeah.
Were you able to kind of settle into, okay, this is who I want to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the start of it. Yeah.
Because I love that, like, the traveling alone, man, can't be understated, man.
Oh, man,
it's like people think, oh, why are you so lonely? Are you kidding me? I'm less lonely because I open myself to opportunities.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you travel with people, you subscribe yourself to this experience. This is how it's going to interact. When you're on your own, you subscribe yourself to nothing. You subscribe yourself to yourself. And so anything, like you said, the risk, the rewards.
Yeah.
As you're saying that, I'm looking at you and I'm like, oh my God, man's flashbacking going.
Yeah, I am.
Any kind of... Come on, man. You got to give me a story, man. Indonesia. How long were you there for?
I was there for a month.
Oh, I love that.
And then I went back a few times. But I think probably my favorite flashback, like relative to that traveling alone thing, was I went to a friend's wedding in, I think it's Kalimantan, which is like on the island of Borneo.
A friend that you made while you were there in Indonesia? Or a friend from...
It was actually a friend through my mum.
Okay.
He was like an exchange student who stayed with us for a bit. And so...
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's awesome. I hear those stories where, like, people get the exchange students and go back to the homes and...
Yeah,
it's the best.
Yeah. And I went to Kalimantan because that's where his wife is from. Went to their wedding. And Kalimantan's pretty... You know, not too many people go there. And I copped a lot of stares, you know, on the streets.
Because you're cute.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, went to the wedding. And then I wanted to go to the center of Borneo. So I got on this ferry.
Is that where...
It's like a big mountain.
Okay. Yep.
And you got the Mahakam River. And I got like, I don't know, I spent like 24 or like 30 hours on a ferry to get up there.
What?
I know, it was crazy.
Like, you got your own room, you sleeping kind of thing?
No, just like on the deck. Yeah, like it was
24
full, like,
hours.
yeah, it's crazy.
Man, I got ADHD, man. That ain't gonna help out, man. I want to see.
Yeah, and the best part was that I got food poisoning just before I got into that ferry.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
great.
you had something
Yeah.
to do. You were preoccupied anyway, so it didn't matter.
And that part hadn't sunk in, but I was feeling terrible, and like it was. I almost thought it was like it felt like what people say typhoid is, but then I heard that you can't get better from typhoid without medication or something, and I got better without medication. Anyway,
Sorry.
30 hours on the ferry, and I get to a point and I'm like, I have to get off. I'm done. Like, I cannot survive one more minute on this ferry. Go to this remote jungle town, and no one speaking English or anything, obviously.
Teach them.
And
Start a school.
I found like a guest house,
Yeah.
which was just a regular house, and this old grandma lady takes me in, and she's like, yeah, here's your room. And when I got to the room, passed out on the bed, 2 days, just to sleep for 2 days. And all I remember was the door opening every now and then, and her looking at me and just being like, what the fuck is this white guy doing here? Like, he's just come here and sleeping.
She's like, he's a duty of care. He can't die.
Yeah. Yeah. And the bathroom was like, the sink was like a 44-gallon drum full of water.
Oh.
And then the toilet was just like a hole in the ground that went down the riverbank, which is a pretty, interesting. Well, it was a new experience for me at the time.
How much was rent?
Oh, it's like $2 a night or something.
$4.
Yeah.
2 cans of Coke.
Yeah. But after 2 days, I was like, I have to get out of here. And I was still feeling kind of delusional and a bit depressed and stuff. And walk out, and there's like a street market. And there's these guys selling fried chicken. And I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I just started talking to him. And one of them just loved me. He's like, oh, after today, help us back up. Come on our ferry. We'll go back to the city and I'll show you around. And so, yeah, I did that.
So you were on your way back from the wedding, were you?
No, like I'd been to the wedding in the city.
Yep.
And then I wanted to go into the
Oh,
jungle.
you wanted to go check out rural.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yep.
So,
Sorry, I wasn't following. I thought you were going out to rural for the wedding. I was like, sorry, man.
nah, that's all right.
But yeah, I get that's awesome.
Yeah, I spent like a week with him. We went back to the city, stayed with his family, stayed with his cousins, stayed with his cousins. You know how it is.
I asked a very specific question on this one because I'm Vietnamese, so I know my experience, right? When I speak to Vietnamese people, I know what it's like. I also know that when the traveling scene is like, yeah, Vietnamese people, we're Asian, we live there, we see foreigners and we want to kind of like make a bit of money off them. Not within reason. It's kind of like if you ever do get ripped off, I think you'd understand it. In Asia and stuff, it's kind of like, well, I didn't get ripped off that much in the grand scheme. It's just like he made a bit of extra for him, so you don't get mad, kind of thing, right? Did you, when you were specifically this friend that you had made, did it feel like just generally we're exchanging good times with each other, or it kind of felt like, and I'm not saying that it was a major burden on you just paying for everything, but you felt like it was a kind of like, let's say you had like a big feast meal or something, like you were paying for a lot of it, or any of that at all.
I paid for nothing.
There you go.
And when I tried to pay, he was offended. Like, he would refuse it. Yeah.
Actually, no, that makes so much sense. And I'll say this so we can wrap up the point before the next transition. But when I went to Vietnam, over in Sapa, right, highest point in Vietnam, you've been?
No, I know it. Yeah.
So very touristic, right? The ethnic, like, indigenous children there, so they're not Vietnamese, they're Hmong children, run around and trying to like get you to give them money, trying to sell lollies, things like that. Great. That's northwest, right? Yeah. Northeast, we have something that's a little bit similar. Again, mountains and stuff. Ha Giang. Not many people go because to go there, it's like a loop. You got to like hop on the scooter and stuff. It's a bit dangerous. Not everyone wants to do that. You got to really want to travel if you do that, right? Yeah. And when you do that, you meet the children there. Same ethnic children as the one over there. Hmong children. Yeah. Like, from like these, different China and Vietnam. They've got different ethnic people. None of that. They just want to say hi. I see you, and they put 2 fingers up for photo. Because they're used to that. They don't used to having to like try to make as much money as possible.
Exactly.
Which is why even in those countries, they discourage that. So it's like, yeah, when you hit those rural communities, they haven't been like corrupted, I suppose.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I mean, I love tourism. Tourism is why we're able to travel. Why you and I can afford to do this is because of tourism. But it's sad, like, to see that. And I love that. Like what you said, like you meet these people where that's hard, man. Like they haven't had to, like, life, you know how it is in those countries. Life's hard.
Oh yeah.
But it's kind of like the hardness that, like, this is my life and like I own it. I live it with dignity.
Yeah,
I don't want no handout, no nothing. And you know, you're someone who's different to me. I'm different to you, and we can exchange something here. Let's have an experience together. I love that.
Yeah, and I think they understand also that there's value beyond money. Yeah,